So I know you played for a lot of good managers, but the Whitey Herzog experience, how do you describe it?
Well, coming up when I did, still a young kid, basically. I burned my way pretty quick through the minor leagues. I pitched well, and when I got up here, I joined a team that just won the World Series. So there's a lot of vets on there. They know how it was all about, and the Rat was running the show, and that was the bottom line. And he took me under his wing. He was kind of like a dad away from home, because I grew up with my father and my mom and this and that, and now I'm in the big leagues. Your goal you want to get to, and he was the leader of that. So what he said went. That's what happened. There was no ifs and buts about it. If Whitey said you do something, you do something. And I'd say for the most part, everything that he asked you to do was within your capabilities and put you in a good position to win, and whatever that case was, he learned from it all the time. I know my first game I pitched, he let me go 10 innings. You probably won't see that today, but that was one example. And when I'm out there pitching, there was a man on second, I think in the 9th inning, and 2 outs, and Pete Rose is coming up and Joe Morgan's on deck. And usually, in that situation, a manager, put 4 fingers up and say, hey, let's get a force out somewhere. But he came out and he asked me who I would rather pitch to. We discussed that, and I just told him Pete, because it seemed like Joe was hitting the ball pretty hard off me that day. I didn't want to face him again if I could avoid it. And fortunately, I got Pete out, but after the conversation was over and Whitey's walking off the mound, he said, remember now, he's got 4,000 hits. All right, I got you, yeah, but that's how he was. I think he let us play so he could figure us out. If he would have walked out there, how you going to pitch this guy? He wanted to know if you were thinking about it or not. So he would find out from you before he...
And then from your perspective, I know you had great stuff, but to have Ozzie and Tommy and Willie and Vince and Andy, that was heaven for a pitcher, right?
Absolutely. I always say, a perfect game would be 27 ground balls to Ozzie. I'd take 27 pitches and ground balls to him every day. Don't care about no strikeouts, walking nobody. Let him get it and throw it on over to first, and I'd be happy. Probably would have extended my career if I was that lucky. Save a few pitches, yeah, absolutely.
What's the bond like with the '85 team? Even though it didn't end up in a championship, it was such a fun summer and a great run to get there.
I just think it was kind of a unique team, stealing all those bases and a lot of defense. I think our whole, who we were was based on defense. Playing on the turf, the speed we had, stealing bases. Putting balls in play, butting guys over, and stealing. All of that in the defense, and then our pitching. We weren't a bunch of strikeout guys. Toot and Andahar, they got more. Worrell, sure, coming out of the pen, but we were, hey, throw strikes. White didn't like walks. Throw strikes. Let that defense work for you, and that was part of it. You don't have to be that guy. Share it with the team, and I think that built us all together. That made us different, because when people played us, what was it? They always said, well, the games are longer with you guys. Yeah, well, that's because you throw over 100 times because everybody on the team can steal. Mm-hmm. That was part of it. Mm-hmm. A rally to us was Vince would get on, steal second, steal third, then we have a ground out to the infield, and that was a Cardinal rally. And we enjoyed talking about it like that. And, here comes a Cardinal rally, and that was part of who we were and what we believed in, and we played that way. And it took us, one game away from winning the World Series.
Danny, do you think that was a special team at a special time, like kind of right team, right place, or would that style still play today?
I think it'd have to play today, Good defense, good pitching. What are they always looking for? Good defense, good pitching. That's part of the game. I think now they try to put a little too much emphasis on certain aspects of the game instead of the whole game. Getting a guy over and getting him in late, it means a lot. You get that once, twice a game, somebody's got to score 2 or 3 runs to get you. And if you're always looking for that, you're missing out on opportunities in the games that present themselves, and Whitey was good at that, seeing something happen to make that happen, and try and let that transpire. And I don't see that now. It seems like it's just one way if you're watching. I'm not knocking or nothing. Just as you watch the game, I see a lot of things that are in the game that aren't being used that I think could make you better. And Whitey was good at using all those facets to make us better.
We asked John Tudor how long it took for him to get over not winning the World Series that year, and he said, "I'll let you know." Has it been that way with you? Are you over that, or how long did it take you to accept one?
It's never going to change. So yeah, if you're always dwelling on it, something ain't right. There's a lot of good things can happen all the time. Don't just dwell on that and make everything miserable. I guess about the only time it bugs me is if I see a Royal with a World Series ring on. That's about it. But for the most part, we had a great season. Came up a little short, but deep down in your heart, yeah, you're bummed. We were bummed in '87 too. But I was fortunate enough to. I was bummed in '92. I was with the Pirates when the Braves scored 3 runs in the bottom of the ninth and beat us, and I was with them, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, what's going to happen here? And then I got free agent over to Toronto, and they had just won the World Series. I'm thinking, oh man, am I late again? No, but they won back-to-back, so I was real fortunate enough to be able to play on some really good teams, and got a World Series championship. So maybe that took some of the sting out. Who knows? But I remember all those times. I mean, they were all fun. Somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. But fortunately, played one whole year where we won the last game, and that's basically all it's about.
Danny, when Whitey invited Dinkinger back to one of the reunions, did that provide some peace or closure, or what does it say about Whitey to do that?
I think it's just to have some fun. I don't think anybody has any hard feelings towards him. It's just, it happened in today's game. Sure, it would have been overturned, but that's not the way it was. But for him to be there, I thought it was pretty nice. We had him come to an event in Kansas City where some of the Royals were there, and myself, Jack Clark, and Tommy Herr were there, and I said to the guys, hey, when he walks up on stage, we're going to do this, and we'll just get up and walk off. And they did, and he was just cracking up. He found good humor in that. We said, then we came back a couple minutes later, sat back down, and he was giggling. So we all understand it happened. It's not going to change, but I don't have nothing against the man. Did the best he could, and that's what it is.
Hey, Danny, there's another thing going on with Cardinals this weekend. Their Hall of Fame is happening. And
Right.
Al Herbosky's going in. I know you live in the
Good to
area.
him, yes.
So I've thought, since you're a former Cardinal, he's a former Cardinal, but also his broadcast. Can you put into words what you think he means to the Cardinals?
He's been here a long time. Everybody knows who the Mad Hungarian is. He's not only is he great as an alumni, but he's great to the guys coming up. The guys been here past, fans. He does so many events and MC events throughout the whole city of St. Louis and surrounding areas. For him to be in the Hall of Fame, absolutely earned. And, God bless him, and congratulations on that award.